Hello, I'm Colwen. So I've got two Transformers I want to talk about. We have here the 2009. I thought he was 2012. 2009 War for Cybertron Cliffjumper, which is a repaint, different head of War for Cybertron Bumblebee. Basically the same figure where it counts. And here we have on the other side the 2022, 2023, I want to say 22, might be 23, I'm not sure offhand, Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Bumblebee. And oh wow, what a weird difference 10 years can make. Because the newer one is lacking in so many ways. But let's get into it. First of all, you can see looking straight on, the newer one is noticeably shorter. Let's bring over Film Noir Spider-Man, Soda Can, here we go, Hubcap, and we've got Scourge. Let me bring in the Siege of Cybertron car guys. So, yeah, the one is noticeably shorter than the other, and you can see they have a fairly similar silhouette, except for in the Gamer Edition version he stores his weapons pegged on the outside. On the original, he's got his weapon stored nicely away underneath his armor skirts. Now, one thing that does kind of suck about the older one is he ends up with this really hollow, ugly looking backpack up in here. Ugly, hollow torso. Okay, so that is a detriment. The newer one, it does have a solid torso in there. It is a lot more compact. Okay, alright, okay. I prefer the Cliffjumper one to the Bumblebee one because it exposes more of its cool clear plastic stuff going on. So on the older one, he's got a cool blaster pistol. It's decent, it's good. He has built-in arm-mounted blades. Okay, his head is very, very loose, but look at that. He's got nice storage for his gun. The gun is a cool looking, just handheld blaster, built-in swords. The newer one has a sword that he must hold. And in order for his weapon to work, you need to remove his arm and peg the other arm on there. Fortunately, yes, it is blaster effect compatible. I legit thought when I got this figure he was missing a barrel or something. I was like, where's the rest of his gun? No, that's his gun. I watched somebody else's video, because not only did I need to confirm that he was or was not missing a weapon, which he okay, but I couldn't figure out how to transform him at one point, and that was really frustrating. I got it figured out, and it was a lot simpler than I thought. So yeah, the newer one is shorter, has less good weapons, because the older one has. Okay, now granted, these blades are clear, but there isn't a whole lot of weight being put on them, and like, yeah, you gotta bend them to take them in and out of storage, but it's not like I'm sitting here all day, But he's got actual proper weapon storage. How do I do this thing again? That's not right. Oh, here we go. And the weapon blends in really nicely. So articulation wise, my older one, yes, the joints are a little loose, so it's a 10-year-old figure. We're not going to hold that against it. He has a bowl-jointed neck, which gets him all kind of wiggly-waggly. He's got a hinge point underneath, and that's helps with transformation, but it also helps with emphasizing and doing character shit, you know? He's got ball jointed shoulders with an internal butterfly joint. And yeah, mine, his butterfly. I can fix that by popping that loose and coating the ball with some nail polish or some floor polish. I'm not going to bother with that right now, though. He's got an at-the-shoulder swivel. He's got nice double-jointed elbows. And because of the big bulk on his forearm, it does help to hide the ugly floatiness of the elbows. His wrists are a little awkward, sure, but they're ball jointed and they kind of like monkey inwards like lockdown. It's all right. It's all right. He's got nice full 360 waist. Yeah, you got to disconnect the backpack to get it to work, but like, you know, it sits back down wherever you need it. He's got universal jointed hips. He's got a thigh inward bend. That's for transformation, but that's still nice. He's got a knee bend, thigh bend, and he's got kind of ankles a little bit. They kind of work. They're not the greatest, but they kind of work. I like this guy. He's a good figure. He is. Let's put him over there, and we'll talk about the newer one. I don't hate the newer one, okay? I don't hate it. He still looks the part. His chest is a little weirder. I like the chest on the older one better. The wheels aren't as cool as they should be. It's a good Bumblebee head. He's got a clean backpack. I mean, it's a shame you have to store his weapons plugged onto his back. He has just a simple ball joint socket, which is still nice. That's nice. Okay. He's got kind of butterfly joints, but they're kind of restricted. He's got ball jointed shoulders. He's got a shoulder above the elbow swivel. He's got an elbow joint. No wrist articulation. He's got a much clearer, there is no need to disconnect his backpack to turn the waist. So he does have a better waist than the older one. Ball socketed hips instead of universal jointed hips. Thigh swivel. Limited knee bend. Really no ankle articulation. I mean, there's the toe articulation, but these things, that doesn't count. That right there doesn't count. That's absolutely for transformation. So yeah, the newer one is shorter. It has less articulation. It's got a better waist. He's got a cool sword. He's got a new sword! See, a problem, though, is because you need to disconnect the arm to put the gun on there. In about 10 years, we're going to see Bumblebees on eBay like this. Even worse. They'll be missing the sword even. But this guy, if he loses his gun, he still has the built-in swords. He still has his arm. Okay. And through the magic of video editing, it is now several days later that I'm actually getting to finish this episode. God, Kentucky in the summer is fucking miserable, man. Oh my God. We are going to transform them next. So, age before youth or whatever. Let's take the newer Bumblebee and yeah, his feet are already A-framed out. His feet are already tapered. I just now realized that. His feet are not tapered. They are just flat-footed. Okay, so transformation-wise, let's start with his legs because those end up going into the body. So we're going to come down here and going to pull the outside panel away. You're going to fold it around, and then the foot's going to... It might end up having to go like this. I think it has to go like this. So on this side, we're going to hinge that all over and then bring that around like that. No, thinking it goes like this. But we will we'll figure that out when we get to shoving it all into his torso. The wheel is on a slide bar. God, it's fucking miserable right now, man. And it slides the entire thing back in like that. So, same on the other side. Like that. And then using those cool hip hinges, you're going to hinge out the legs like that. Pull the backpack away. And this panel here needs to get flipped around like that. The head gets flipped in and around. These panels get pulled forward to cover up the hands. Oh goodness. Okay, I just had to take a break there for a minute. I am dripping with goo. The arms get tucked backwards underneath here. Now, you gotta pay attention because this tab is gonna end up going into that little slot right there. So the arms need to be lined up almost just right. This figure absolutely has Bayverse inspired transformations there. See, it can be done. It's just the joints are super tight and annoying. And you know what? Hold on a second. Okay, just for the sake of easiness, I went ahead and transformed that off camera. Now, after you transform the arms, that's when you want to bring the entire shell down. And then you're going to tab the arm panels into there like that. Now, this tab right here, this peg right here, is going to go into this hole up in here, okay? Pretty sure the feet have to go like this, and that is actually what these hinges are for. They're there to give the legs to spread out enough to put enough space for the feet and then get those pegs lined up. Now you're going to want to do this one leg at a time. Can we see up in there? And then that's going to tab into place like that. Okay, so other side, same as this one. You're going to need to wiggle it in there. Come on. Okay, so something is blocking or bumping or not quite lined up. So once again, okay, so what was going on is those little shoulder bits up in there, as I pushed the legs in, they were slipping out. In fact, you can actually see that one. Maybe you can't see on camera, but I can definitely see. There you go. There you go. That one is actively slipped back out. But I have transformed him into his Cybertronian alt mode. He is a little twisted a little bit, just like our reviewer himself. I am quite twisted. Moving on to the, so for the sake of ha-ha funny, I am going to actively leave the arm off. So, we're going to come back here, and we're going to unhinge the backpack all the way out. We also need to spread the front fenders open, because in robot mode, they compress down, so now we got to spread them out, giggity. We have to take this panel and flip that back in. We will then take the shoulders. I'm doing something wrong here. Okay. Bloody hell! One moment. Okay. So, pretty sure it needs to go like that. So on the other side, what you're going to do is you're going to take the shoulder plate, the shoulder armor, and twist it so that it's lined up like this. We will then take the arm, fold the hand in, rotate the wheel around as I gyrate this thing in place because I can't just hold it still. There we go. There we go, see? I wonder how many other people can't keep their Transformers in one place as they transform them. The legs are annoying, but they make sense once you figure it out, okay? So take this armor plate and swing it out of the way, then swing the entire foot up, and then fold the heel into place. We then, oh no, hold on. You need to, okay, so let's start over. Flip the armor out of the way. Use this hinge to flip everything up so that we can compact things. Okay. We're going to try again on the other foot. So, take this armor, hinge it out of the way, hinge the foot out of the way so that we can then swing the whole leg around. Okay. Then you need to swing the foot around, flip down the heel part, flip that armor bit up, collapse the leg down. So it almost rhymes with the original one, how the legs get tucked underneath. You do need to turn them at the waist. Now, once we have them turned at the waist, let's go ahead and straighten them out, and then we're going to start bringing down the armor plating like so. Now this, okay, so this is the same problem I had earlier. Make sure the waist is all the way tucked in there. Otherwise, things don't want to line up. We got the tabs making a comeback here. Getting tucked up underneath there. Okay, again, make sure that waist section is pushed all the way up in. And then we have him in his transformed. Well, see, that's what he's going to look like in about 10, 15 years. We got this tab up underneath here also. There we go. There's a tab in the leg that's going to go in. But yeah, in about 10 years, we're going to have a bunch of them. Damn it, hold on a second. I didn't want to have to completely untransform him just for that, but make sure, and even this is pushed up a little high. But as I was trying to make the joke, yeah, he's going to look like that in about 10 years. So we're going to take the other hand, transform it, and we can just easily sneak it up in here. I thought I could just easily sneak it up in there, but no. He wants to be difficult. Get on with it! Get on with it! Okay, I'm sorry, Monty. I'm sorry. There. Let's take the gun and shove the sword back up inside of him. And we can mount it on top. And you know what? We can still use the Bloosh compatible effect. Let's bring them inside here. Let's bring in Scourge. Let's bring in Hubcap and Soda Can. We got the Cybertronian car guys. And we can bring in Film Noir Spider-Man. So, let's go ahead and put his weapon off to the side and just get a good look at them. The newer one is a decent interpretation of the old one. It does take a lot of artistic license in rearranging the panel covering and stuff, but you can see they are both very Tron inspired, kind of, you know, high-tech gamer mouse. They look like high-tech gamer mouses. Fortnite sucks! I want to hear the hate down below. Please tell me how much Fortnite actually is cool. Come on. I've actually never played Fortnite, nor do I intend to. I do have Fortnite action figures, and I will talk about those sometime. The underside. So, the newer one, yes, is easier to transform. The older one is finicky as fuck. The older one has less visible underside robot shit going on. You got the head, the hands, like you can see everything. But this one, it looks like vehicle junk stuff. Like you can't really identify it as something. The older one has a bunch of nice translucent stuff going on. The other one, it looks okay. It's alright. So, really, the older one is the masterpiece version, okay? It's got a much more screen-accurate robot mode, much more screen-accurate vehicle mode. It's got the cool built-in weapons. It's got nice weapon storage. Like, seriously, they stored the weapon underneath it. Why don't they do that more often? There was plenty of space on this guy. I think, can we? Okay, we kind of can. I think that's really meant for the sword, actually. Isn't that meant more for the sword? Okay, that's meant more for the sword, and it does help to hide the face a bit better. So that is okay. The older one is the masterpiece version. Better vehicle mode, better robot mode, better articulation. It pays for it by having a very finicky, not overly complicated, but finicky Bayverse-inspired transformation. The older one, the newer one. How words work! The older one, the newer... I feel like an episode of Star Trek DS9 all of a sudden. The newer one, yes, is smaller, but it's got a much more simpler transformation. It's got a simpler... The translucent plastic is always kind of scary. So you don't got to worry about the translucent plastic. It's easier to play with. It's easier to pick up and fiddle around with. I like having both. I enjoy them both. This one looks really, really good. It's got a very complicated transformation that is still enjoyable. This one's easier to play with. This one's easier to play with. This one's easier to play with. If you can only afford one, this one goes for $27 brand new in the box. This one goes for about $30 loose complete. They're running the same price right now. They're running the same price right now. If you can only afford one, go for the older one. Go to eBay, pick up the older one. If you want a sealed in box one, they're maybe $40, $50. I don't know offhand. But the nice thing about the sealed in box ones is that they had the old school big old plastic blister. So that really, oh my goodness, the old school plastic blister, you know what I mean? You know, no more of the box shit going on, you know, the good packaging. I know why they shipped it over, because so much of that would have been plastic waste. I know. I'm Colwen. I'm stoned as fuck. I enjoyed making this video, even though I was sweaty as balls. I got the air conditioner running correctly. For some reason, I had it set to 72 instead of lower, so... Seriously, I was telling my dad about that, and I was like, yeah, you know, it was set to 72, and he's like, oh, so you changed it, right? No, I cranked it up to 80. Come on. I'm Colwen. I've been doing... I just opened up Oh, is that pertinent to my life? Denial. Delay is the deadliest form of denial. I just opened up a fortune cookie off camera, and it turns out the fortune cookie may not be very edible. It has become kind of rubbery. I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to put this in. You know, I'll nibble it. Yeah, no, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. I've been talking about Transformers War for Cybertron 2013 or so. Cliffjumper, aka Bumblebee repaint, and the gamer edition of War for Cybertron Bumblebee. They're the same figure, just they're the same character, just different paint job. Okay. If you can only afford one, get the older one. The older one is a masterpiece version. The newer one is basically a kid's version. Not young kid, but you know, it's easier and simpler to play with. I'm gonna leave now. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. If this is what it's like after going stale, dear God, why am I eating these when they're fresh?